Yo, what is good, everybody? This is the Chosen One FN, or we are back today with another video. So the WNBA. This will be my first video in this mode of 2K. I had a great idea to let's just watch the draft lottery real quick. You'll see what it's for in a minute. So the fourth pick is gonna go to the Dallas Wings. Keep in mind this is going into the Paige Bueckers draft. So the third pick goes to the Connecticut Sun. The second pick is going to the Seattle Storm. And then the first pick goes to the Washington Mystics. Well, the reason we watched that, we have put LeBron James in the WNBA. Now, of course, that made it realistic to what a WNBA LeBron would look like. So we got LeBron James, 6'3", 210 pounds, 17 years old out of high school, small forward, power forward. Nice shooting form, hits the mid-range shots regularly. Outstanding vertical, should be able to provide rim protection. Solid on-ball defender, can steal the rock on occasion. Slow to grasp new offensive, often appears unaware and fully healthy. But that will be the player joining the WNBA. It will be LeBron James. Now let's see what team she goes to. The Washington Mystics with the first pick, they're going to select Paige Bueckers. With the second pick, the Seattle Storm are going to select Kiki. With the third pick, the Sun are going to select Sonia Kitron from Notre Dame. With the fourth pick, the Dallas Wings are going to select Anisha Morrow from LSU. With the fifth pick, the Washington Mystics are going to select T-Hina Pow from South Carolina. With the sixth pick, the Indiana Fever are going to select Ozzie Fudd from Connecticut. With the seventh pick, the Los Angeles Sparks are going to select Olivia Miles from Notre Dame. With the eighth pick, the New York Liberty are going to select Janiah Barker from UCLA. With the ninth pick, the Chicago Sky are going to select LeBron James out of high school. What do they got to say about it? Combine times aside, for my money, LeBron James is the fastest player in the draft, both with and without the ball. Okay. So, the Chicago Sky, Paige Bueckers, 95. What the? Alright. So, team selection. We will be following LeBron's career as a member of the Chicago Sky. So, this is the roster we're currently looking at. Camilla, Angel Reese, Ariel Atkins, and LeBron. So now, I will see you at the end of the 2025, no, it's just 2025, the 2025 WNBA season. Alright, I'm here at the end of the 2025 WNBA season. A'ja Wilson is your MVP. Paige Bueckers, Rookie of the Year. Dana Evans, 6th Player of the Year. A'ja Wilson, DPOY. Diamond Miller, Most Improved Player. Breanna Stewart, Clutch Player of the Year. And Carl, Coach of the Year. Where does LeBron end up? LeBron ends up on All Rookie Team. Does not get an All NBA Team nod. Averaged 13 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and a block a night on 51% from the field, 29% from 3, and 78% from the line. And the Sky did make the playoffs. They're going to play here versus the Aces. Game 1 goes to Chicago. Game 2 goes to Chicago as they advance. Round 2 versus the Fever. We got Caitlin Clark. So it's LeBron and Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark in the playoffs. Game 1 goes to Chicago. Game 2 goes to Indiana. Game 3 goes to Chicago. And Game 4 goes to Chicago. And they move on to the WNBA Finals to play the MVP, A'ja Wilson, and Breanna Stewart. Game 1, goes to Chicago. Game 2 goes to, is that the Atlanta Dream? Yeah, Atlanta Dream. Oh, that's not Asia. Asia's in Las Vegas. I'm so dumb. Anyway, Breanna Stewart in the Atlanta Dream. Game 2 goes to Chicago. LeBron can win her first championship here. And it's not going to be in this game, it doesn't look like. Yeah, it's not going to be in this game. This is the final game. Yeah, final game of the series. Game 5. And the Sky are just going to get lost in the third and fourth quarters. Oh, man, that's heartbreaking. The Atlanta Dream and Breanna Stewart win the championship. 3-2. LeBron have 4 points. You kidding me? Playoff statistics. LeBron averaged 12 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, not even a steal, in a blocky game. 55% from the field goal, 38% from 3, and 81% from the line. Alright, so we're just going to move on through free agency, see who we got. Yes, day 12. So there's still some free agents, but signed. Do we sign anybody to the Chicago Sky? We signed nobody. Congratulations. We signed nobody. We got Sophie Cunningham. All right. Are we gonna get anybody special in the draft or no? No, not really. Alright, I'll see you at the end of the 2026 WNBA season. We have reached the end of the 2026 WNBA season. Aja Wilson, MVP. Lauren Betts, Rookie of the Year. Sato, 6th Woman of the Year. Aja Wilson, DPOY. And Anisha Mora, Most Improved Player. LeBron James, Clutch Player of the Year. You can see the stats right there. 16 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. On 48% from the field, 78% from the free throw line, and 32% from 3. Coral Coach of the Year again. And that puts LeBron on all WNBA second team. Not on the defensive team, though. And the Sky are the 8th seed in the playoffs. Game 1 goes to Atlanta. Game 2 goes to Atlanta, and we're eliminated. Kind of a fall off, man. Kind of a fall off, if you ask me. We won't have a high draft pick. Do we get anybody in free agency? We get Lindsay Allen, Misha Hines Allen, and we re-sign Michaela, or however you say it. I don't care. No, wait, that's 2026. We didn't get anybody. Yeah, nobody again. What is our... I have it on auto, right? Yeah, off-season free agents on auto. They're just not signing people. Alright, did we get anybody special in the draft? We get Tess Johnson at the 5th pick. It's not bad. So this will be the first year with auto-generated rookies, and I'll see you at the end of the 2027-2028 WNBA season. Why did I say 2028? It's just 2027. I'll see you at the end of the season. At the end of the 2027 WNBA season, your MVP is Juju Watkins. She also wins Rookie of the Year. Sato, 6th Woman of the Year. Aja Wilson, DPOY. Ayanna Patterson, Most Improved Player. And Juju Watkins, Clutch Player of the Year. And then Lucas of the Mystics, Coach of the Year. LeBron gets all WNBA first team, averaging 21 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, a block, on 53% from the field, 44% from the three-point line, and 80% from the free throw line. Did I get her a defensive team? Yes, it gets her all defensive second team. And the Sky missed the playoffs, of course. So, draft lottery here. Do the Sky get a high pick? They're projected to get the 4th pick. And they get the 2nd pick. We'll honestly take that. Now, I'm pretty sure Labrina might be a free agent. Is Labrina a free agent? Where is Labrina? Labrina has 1 more year. Okay. Labrina has 1 more year. We're good. Simulate, see if we get anybody signed. We re-signed Camilla and we re-signed Angel Reese. Okay, nothing special. Who do we get in the WNBA draft? We get an absolute stinker at the 2nd overall pick. I'll see you at the end of the 2028 WNBA season. The end of the 2028 WNBA season, and Labrina James is your MVP, averaging 24-7-5 with a steal and a block a night on 50% from the field, 81% from the free throw line, and 41% from 3. Veronica Stewart, Rookie of the Year. Jada Williams, 6th Woman of the Year. Collier, DPOY. Audie Crooks, Most Improved Player. And Juju Watkins, Clutch Player of the Year. Carl, Coach of the Dream, gets Coach of the Year. Labrina, obviously, all WNBA first team. Is a 99 overall now. Also, all defensive first team. And the Sky are the 5 seed playing the Fever in the first round. It is Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark as game 1 goes to Indiana. Does game 2? Game 2 goes to Indiana and we're eliminated. Alright. So we don't have nobody in the draft. We're not going to get a good draft pick. Okay. So the Chicago Sky, it's 2029, and we re-sign. Yeah, all we did was re-sign Labrina James to a 4-year, $1.35 million deal. And I will see you at the end of the 2029 WNBA season. At the end of the 2029 WNBA season, Hannah Hidalgo wins MVP. Ebony McGee, Rookie of the Year. Janiah Barker, 6th Woman of the Year. Nafisa Collier, DPOY. Essence Nance wins Most Improved Player. And Aja Wilson, Clutch Player of the Year. And then Jackie gets Coach of the Year for the New York Liberty. Labrina still gets all WNBA first team, averaging 21-7-5 with 2 steals and a block a night on 48% from the field, 39% from the 3-point line, and 87% from the free throw line. That also gets her on all defensive first team. And we are the 6th seed in the playoffs, playing the Dallas Wings, led by Audie Crooks. Okay. Game 1 goes to Dallas. Game 2 goes to us. Game 3 goes to Dallas, and we're eliminated again. This is not successful at all. Free agency. Do we get anybody? 2030. Do we get anybody? Nope. Nothing. Nada. Zero. Zilch. Alright, I'll see you at the end of the 2030 WNBA season. End of the 2030 WNBA season, Hannah gets MVP, Genesis Watson gets Rookie of the Year, Dawn Mann gets 6th Woman of the Year, Labrina James gets DPOY. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the stats. 21 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, a block on 49% from the field, 91% from the free throw line, and 38% from 3. Most Improved Player, Katarina Boheim. And then Juju Watkins, Clutch Player of the Year. Stephanie White, Coach of the Fever, gets Coach of the Year. Caitlin Clark has broken her left thigh, though. So, Labrina James, all WNBA first team. And also all defensive first team, obviously, because the DPOY win. And they are the 5th seed in the playoffs. Game 1 goes to Washington. Game 2 goes to us. Game 3 goes to us. And we finally advance to the 2nd round for the first time since the first year. Let's go. Playing Dallas, at least we didn't have to play Indiana. But they were led by Aja Wilson and Audie Crooks, along with Anisha Morrow. Game 1, goes to us. Game 2 goes to us. Game 3 goes to us. And we're back in the WNBA Finals to play the Minnesota Lynx, led by Shakira Austin. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to Minnesota. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4, can we watch LeBron win her first championship? 6 years into her career. And that's going to be it. The Chicago Sky have won the 2030 WNBA Championship. Make sure LeBron is in here. Alright, LeBron is in. Oh my. Why is it doing that? Like, I didn't even press down on my stick. Sorry, LeBron, I just ruined your shooting percentage. And the Chicago Sky are your 2030 WNBA champions. Angel Reese and LeBron James. LeBron in the final game at 24, 6, 6, 3, and 2. 9 for 17. 5 for 9 from 3. Yes, I know it says 18 and 10, but I lowered it because I'm not counting that full court shot I accidentally shot. And LeBron James wins Finals MVP, averaging 27, 6, 6, 2 steals, and a block on 54% from the field, 83% from the free throw line, and 55% from 3. And now we are moving into the 2030 offseason. Or it'll be 2031. Hopefully we capitalized on winning that championship and got some people. We signed Tess Johnson to a 4-year, $1.45 million deal. Didn't we draft her? Yes, we did. She was our player we drafted with the 5th pick in 2027. So this is a solid big 5 right here. But I will see you at the end of the 2031 WNBA season. End of the 2031 WNBA season, Hannah wins MVP. Jewel Caldwell wins Rookie of the Year. Christie wins 6th Woman of the Year. Labrina gets DPOI again. Her stats this season were 22 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block a night. 50% from the field, 90% from the free throw line, and 42% from 3. Christie gets Most Improved Player, and Labrina also gets Clutch Player of the Year. Stephanie White of the Fever is the Coach of the Year. Of course, Labrina is on All WNBA and All Defensive First Team. And we are the 8th seed playing the 1 seed of Liberty. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to New York. And Game 3 goes to New York, and we're eliminated. Of course. Of course, because why wouldn't we be? Alright, let's simulate to the end of free agency. See if we got anybody 2032. We signed Jatavia Joseph to a 1-year, $138,000 deal. And signed Kamaya Carl to a 1-year, $172,000 deal. I believe we had Kamaya. I don't know about Jatavia. But regardless, I'll see you at the end of the 2032 WNBA season. The end of the 2032 WNBA season. And Labrina James wins the Most Valuable Player. Averaging 20 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, a block on 50% from the field, 85% from the free throw line, and 43% from 3. Kate Holmes, Rookie of the Year. Renika Butler, 6th Woman of the Year. Labrina James, DPOI. Julie Wall, Most Improved Player. And I'm not even trying that. Clutch Player of the Year. And Jackie Welch of the New York Liberty wins the Coach of the Year. Obviously, Labrina is going to be on All WNBA first and second, and all defensive first team. We make the playoffs as a 2 seed. Game 1 goes to Minnesota. Game 2 goes to Minnesota, and we're eliminated. Just like that. Alright. How old is Labrina at this point? Labrina is only 25. 8 years pro, 25 years old. That's insane. Alright. Do we get anybody in free agency? We signed Ebony McGee to a 1-year, $167,000 deal, and that's it. Well, I will see you at the end of the 2033 WNBA season. I made a critical error. LeBron James in the offseason signed with the Minnesota Lynx, and I wasn't aware. So now we have to switch over to the Lynx to finish the rest of this video. She signed with the Minnesota Lynx in the offseason. I didn't even notice before I started the season because she had stayed all this time. I figured, oh, she's never going to leave. No, she left and went to the Minnesota Lynx. Everything's on auto. Perfect. So, over here, she teams up with Jada Williams and Rebecca Mann, along with Renika Butler. And they are 22-8 right now. Second in the league. So I just thought I'd bring that up because I completely forgot. I didn't even notice that Labrina had changed teams. Like, I was looking at the Sky's roster at the trade deadline. I was like, wait, where's Labrina? Is she injured? I'm like, no. I start scrolling, and there she is on the Minnesota Lynx. So, that's my bad. But I'll see you at the... Actually, you know what? Since there's not that much time left, I ain't even going to cut the video. I'm going to just simulate the playoffs. Labrina wins MVP. Hey! 21 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block. 50% from the field, 85% from the free throw line, 39% from 3. Mariam Bagaric wins Rookie of the Year. Essence Nance wins 6th Woman of the Year. Labrina James DPOY. Sonia Burks, Most Improved Player. And Ozzie Fudd, Clutch Player of the Year. Connecticut Sun Coach wins Coach of the Year. Labrina, obviously, all WNBA first team and second team. However, Labrina is injured starting the playoffs. Will be out 1 to 2 weeks with a bruised right hip. Gonna play through it, though. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to us, and we advance to the second round. Now is the injury healed? Mostly, yes. Game 1 goes to Las Vegas. Game 2 goes to us. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4 goes to Las Vegas. Game 5 goes to Las Vegas, and we are eliminated. Now, one thing I was going to check out. Records. Points in a career. 10,000 by Diana Taurasi. Labrina's already at 7,000 at age 26. That is insane. And the Liberty won the championship. That is insane. The Minnesota Lynx re-signed Renika Butler to a 4-year, $1.57 million deal. And I will see you at the end of the 2034-2035 WNBA season. Why did I say 2035? I was doing so good. 2034 WNBA season. The end of the 2034 WNBA season, Labrina won MVP, averaging 17, 6, and 4, with 1 steal and a block a night, on 51% from the field, 89% from the free throw line, and 43% from 3. Tiara Caldwell, Rookie of the Year. Julie Walls, 6th Woman of the Year. Labrina James, DPOY. And Cameron Conley, Most Improved Player, with Gigi Watkins winning Clutch Player of the Year. Ratched wins Coach of the Year as the Connecticut Sun coach. Labrina obviously makes both first teams. 5 seed here, playing the Fever in the first round. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to Indiana. And Game 3 goes to Indiana, and we are eliminated. How far off is she of breaking the record? Okay, so she's still about 3,000 off. Alright. Do we sign anybody crazy here in the 2035 offseason. We signed Ashley Teague to a 1-year, $172,000 deal. And I will see you at the end of the 2035 WNBA season. The 2035 WNBA season, and Lashaya wins Most Valuable Player. Liz Humphries, Rookie of the Year. Rakia Jackson wins Sixth Woman of the Year. Camilla, she was on the sky for a little bit. She wins DPOI. Simone Bird wins Most Improved Player. And Lashaya also gets Clutch Player of the Year. Jackie Welch of the Liberty gets Coach of the Year. Labrina, all WNBA first team, averaging 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists with a steal and a block a night. 55% from the field, 46% from the three, and 84% from the free throw line. Did that also get her a all defensive team selection? Yes, okay. Alright, we're the 8th seed playing the Liberty in the first round. Game 1 goes to New York. Game 2 goes to New York, and we're up and out of here. Alright. Now, in the 2036 offseason, do we sign anybody? We signed Megan Whitehead to a 1-year, $175,000 deal. And with that being said, I'll see you at the end of the 2036 WNBA season. At the end of the 2036 WNBA season, Hannah wins MVP. Leslie Ozot, Rookie of the Year. Brooke Woodson, Sixth Woman of the Year. Labrina gets DPOY. On the year, she averaged 18 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. 53% from the field, 90% from the free throw line, and 46% from 3. Colby Murphy, Most Improved Player. And Adrian Nunez, Clutch Player of the Year. Lucas, Coach of the Year for the Mystics. Labrina gets all WNBA and all defensive first team honors. But the Lynx do miss the playoffs. They went 16-24, so that's not great. Let's go take a look at the lottery for the first time in a minute. Adrian Wilson finally retires. Alright, the Minnesota Lynx have the odds to get the first pick, and they fall to 3, of course. So let's see, do we get anybody in free agency? 2037 free agency. We do not. But did Labrina decided not to stay? And Labrina has signed with the New York Liberty. That is the next team we're moving to. Labrina is now a member of the New York Liberty. I gotta put everything on automatic here. This video is already taking longer than expected. But Labrina, 30 years old now, spent 4 years in Minnesota, and now is taking her talents to New York. How far off is she of the scoring record? She's about 1,600 points off. She might be. I doubt she gets it this next season, but we'll see. Did the Liberty have a top 4 draft pick? They did. They had the 4th pick, so I'll actually look who they draft. Rookie signing, and they get a absolute stinker. Alright, I'll see you at the end of the 2037 WNBA season. 2037 WNBA season, Hannah wins MVP. Candace Willis, Rookie of the Year. Brooke Woodson, Sixth Woman of the Year. Labrina gets DPOY. On the season, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and a block a night. 51% from the field, 96% from the line, and 42% from 3. Brittany wins Most Improved Player, and Hannah gets Clutch Player of the Year. Allie Hemphill, Coach of the Fever, gets Coach of the Year. Obviously, Labrina is on all WNBA and all defensive first team. And the Liberty are the 4 seed, playing her former team, the Sky, in the first round. Not led by Angel Reese anymore, but led by Juju Watkins. So let's see how this game goes. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to us, and we advance to the second round, finally. Playing Indiana now in the second round. Not led by Caitlin Clark anymore. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to us. Game 3 goes to us. And we advance to the WNBA Finals. I believe it'll be LeBrina's first time in a while. LeBrina currently has one championship in 2030. But she also had another appearance with the Sky her first year. So this is her third finals appearance, but first in 7 years. Yeah. Game 1 goes to Washington. Game 2 goes to us. Game 3 goes to Washington. Game 4 goes to Washington, and they win the championship. That makes LeBrina 1-2 in WNBA Finals. And it's almost certain that she'll beat the record next year for most points in her career. She just has to score 1,000 points. So maybe she gets it, or she definitely gets really close. She's wearing number 35 like she's KD. Come on now. All right, free agency 2038. Do we get anybody? Liberty. We signed Lorelia. How do you ever say that? Randolph to a 1 year, $186,000 deal. And I will see you at the end of the 2038 WNBA season. At the end of the 2038 WNBA season, LaShia wins Most Valuable Player. Barbara Whitehead, Rookie of the Year. Ariel Shaw, Sixth Woman of the Year. LeBrina gets DPOY, averaging 17, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block. 49% from the field, 93% from the free throw line, and 42% from 3. Nadia Cardinal wins Most Improved Player, and LaShia also wins Clutch Player of the Year. Becky Hammond of the Aces gets Coach of the Year. LeBrina, obviously, all WNBA and all Defensive First Team. And they do miss the playoffs. They went 13-27 with LeBrina on the roster. That's kind of insane. Sparks won the championship. Draft lottery. The Liberty are projected to get the 4th pick, and they get the number 1 pick. There you go. Now, is LeBrina a free agent? No, LeBrina is not a free agent. She's still under contract with the Liberty. So let's see who we get in free agency here. 2039. We signed Liz Humphreys to a 1 year, $242,000 deal. Now, do we get a stinker? We get a solid player with the number 1 overall pick. But I will see you at the end of the 2039 WNBA season. The 2039 WNBA season, Brittany Pavich wins Most Valuable Player. Mimi Morris, Rookie of the Year. Brittany, Sixth Woman of the Year. LeBrina gets DPOY, averaging 16 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block a night. 54% from the field, 95% from the free throw line, and 42% from 3. Monica Chandler, Most Improved Player, and Destiny Lewis, Clutch Player of the Year. Brittany, so LeBrina obviously gets all WNBA first and all Defensive First Team. And the Liberty missed the playoffs once again. They went 15-25. Not great. LeBrina did break the WNBA record for most points in a career over Diana Taurasi. 11,035 points. Draft lottery because they suck. The Liberty have the 2nd overall odds and they fall to number 3. Is LeBrina a free agent? LeBrina is not a free agent. She still has 1 more year on her deal. Alright. And we signed nobody, of course. Do we draft a stinker or no? Yes, we draft an absolute stinker. I will see you at the end of the 2040 WNBA season. You're here at the end of the 2040 WNBA season, and LeBrina James is your MVP, averaging 15 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block on 51% from the field, 90% from the free throw line, and 41% from 3. Chelsea Jenkins, Rookie of the Year. Liesl Sander, 6th Woman of the Year. LeBrina James, DPOY. Jenny Wagner, MIP. And Essence Garrett, Clutch Player of the Year. Noel Quinn, Coach of the Year for the Seattle Storm. Obviously, both first teams are made. And the Liberty are the 2 seed. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to Los Angeles. Game 3 goes to Los Angeles, and we are eliminated. Of course. Alright, moving on to free agency. LeBron should be a free agent. And LeBron is a free agent. 34 years old. Receiving offers from the Aces, Mystics, Storm, Wings, and Sun. Alright, we'll see if she's still here at the end of free agency. And she's not. So, where did she sign? She signed with the Washington Mystics to continue her career. Put everything on auto here. Alright. So what else did they do in free agency? They signed Christy Titovo to a 2-year, $651,000 deal. And they signed Jordan Bailey to a 1-year, $109,000 deal. Did they have a top 4 pick? No, they didn't, so we don't care about the draft. So I will see you at the end of the 2041 WNBA season. Here at the end of the 2041 season, your most valuable player is Marion. Leslie Markov, Rookie of the Year. Candace Willis, 6th Woman of the Year. LaBrina James gets DPOY, averaging 15 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block on 53% from the field, 95% from the free throw line, and 44% from 3. Most improved player goes to Becky Augustine, and Colby Murphy wins Clutch Player of the Year. Logan Schmidt, Coach of the Year for the Lynx. LaBrina gets all WNBA and all defensive first team honors. But the Mystics do miss the playoffs. They went 12-28, the worst in the league. Ugh. Caitlin Clark just won the championship with the Lynx. Okay, draft lottery here. And the Mystics fall from 1 to 4. Of course they do. Okay, let's see how this goes here in 2042 free agency. Mystics. We signed Monique Gordon to a 1-year, $238,000 deal. And I will see you at the end of the 2042 WNBA season. At the end of the 2042 WNBA season, Marianne Bagaric is my MVP again. Shatori Little, Rookie of the Year. Caitlin Clark, 6th Woman of the Year. LaBrina James gets DPOY again, averaging 11 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block on 43% from the field, 95% from the free throw line, and 31% from 3. Destiny Newton, MIP. And Hannah Hidalgo, Clutch Player of the Year. Logan Schmidt, Coach of the Year for the Minnesota Lynx. LaBrina, all WNBA second team and all defensive first team. And they missed the playoffs once again. We went 12-28. We were absolutely terrible, of course. The Lynx won the championship again with Caitlin Clark as she retires. Draft lottery. And we get the number 1 overall pick. LeBron is still here another year. Do we get anybody in free agency? We sign nobody. Cool. Alright. WNBA draft. Do we get a stinker or do we get a success? We get a success. I'll give that a success. And I'll see you at the end of the 2043 WNBA season. At the end of the 2043 WNBA season, Mimi Morris is the MVP. Mackenzie Campbell, Rookie of the Year. Liana Galloway, 6th Woman of the Year. LaBrina James gets DPOY again, averaging 12 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block of 9. 48% from the field, 88% from the free throw line, and 42% from 3. Mallory Mason gets most of her player. Candace Willis, Clutch Player of the Year. And then Jackie Welch of the New York Liberty is the Coach of the Year. LeBron makes all WNBA and all defensive first team. We're the 8th seed in the playoffs. Game 1 goes to New York. Game 2 goes to New York, and we're up and out of here. And LeBron is not retiring. Is she a free agent? Yes, she is a free agent, 36 years old, following her 19th season. Well, she'll be 37 by the time free agency happens. Yep, right there. 37-year-old. Yep. No immediate offers. We'll see where she ends up. Does she stay in Washington? She does not. So we're going to go down here, look. And LeBron James has signed with the Phoenix Mercury to continue her career. Make sure everything's on automatic here. Alright. Cool. Were they a top 4 lottery team? They were. They had the 4th pick. So what else did they do in free agency? So they signed LeBron James to a 2-year, $1.26 million deal. They signed Leslie Ozot to a 4-year, $2.6 million deal. They re-signed Sugg Porter to a 1-year, $117,000 deal. Signed Queen Morrison to a 1-year, $117,000 deal. And they signed Tamari Forbes to a 1-year, $117,000 deal. And then in the draft, they get a stinker. They get a stinker. And I will see you at the end of the 2044 WNBA season. The 2044 WNBA season, and Mariam Bagaric is MVP. Trinity Hart, Rookie of the Year. Cheryl Mullen, 6th Woman of the Year. LeBron James, DPOY, averaging 9 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, and a block. 44% from the field, 91% from the free throw line, and 37% from 3. Driuna Cunningham wins MIP. And Candace Willis is Clutch Player of the Year. Otis Newman, Coach of the Year for the Mercury. So we were actually good. LeBron doesn't make any All-WNBA team, but does make All-Defensive First Team. We're the 1 seed. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to us. We advance to the second round. Round 2 versus the Atlanta Dream. Game 1 goes to Atlanta. Game 2 goes to us. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4 goes to us, and we advance to the WNBA Finals for the 4th time in LeBron's career. We are playing, it's Simone Bird. No, it's Destiny Lewis. All right, game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to us. Game 3 goes to us, and we win. LeBron James is the Finals MVP, averaging 7 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block. On 40% from the field, 100% from the free throw line, and 17% from 3. That's not it. She's still going. That was her 20th season. That is crazy. But she is going to be leaving in the offseason, if I'm not mistaken. Free agency. Or she has a team player option. She definitely has a team player option. Oh, she doesn't. Nope, LeBron James is down here at 38 years old. Let's see where she ends up signing. Or does she sign back with the Mercury? She does not sign back. So where is LeBron James? LeBron James has signed with the Connecticut Sun to continue her career. Make sure everything's on automatic. She's basically doing play for every team challenge, I guess. 1 second. All right, everything's on auto. Perfect. Because LeBron, she's 91, down to 91 now. She played for Chicago for how many years? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 years in Chicago. Then played 4 in Minnesota. 4 in New York, and then 1 in Washington, and then 3 in Washington, and 1 in Phoenix. Now she's in Connecticut. Okay, LeBron is on a 1-year, $666,000 deal. And did the Sun do anything else this offseason? They signed Katarina Forbes to a 1-year, $121,000 deal. They signed Brittany Falls to a 2-year, $426,000 deal. They signed LaQuanda Barber to a 1-year, $126,000 deal. And signed Queen Ingram to a 1-year, $264,000 deal. And they were not a lottery team, so I don't care about their pick. I will see you at the end of the 2045 WNBA season. Nika Chandler here at the end of the 2045 WNBA season wins Most Valuable Player. Elaine, Rookie of the Year. Isabel Joseph, Sixth Woman of the Year. Leslie Markoff, DPOI. Lorella Boheim, MIP. Leslie Ozot, Clutch Player of the Year. And Jackie Welch of the Liberty is Coach of the Year. And LeBron still makes all defensive first team. This year she averaged 7 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, 0.4 blocks, on 47% from the field, 42% from the free throw line, and 100%, not 42%, 42% from 3, 100% from the free throw line. There we go. And the Sun are the 2 seed. Game 1 goes to Washington. Game 2 goes to us. Game 3 goes to us. We move on to the second round to play the Lynx. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to Minnesota. Game 3 goes to Minnesota. Game 4 goes to us. Game 5 goes to Minnesota, and we are eliminated. And she will not retire again. She will play another season. 38 years old, just finished her 21st season. She is expiring. So she should be one of the oldest players in the league. Yeah, she's the second oldest player in free agency, but still 92 overall. She has 2 offers, one from the Sky and one from the Aces. She needs to go back to the Sky. That was the team that first believed in her. She needs to go back to the Sky for one final run. And she does not re-sign with the Sun. Where is she at? You gotta scroll down a little bit. James has re-signed with the Chicago Sky. Well, I say re-signed. She hasn't been there in about a decade. A little over a decade, actually. Way over a decade. I'm so off there. But could this be the final season, a reunion season? After 8 years in Chicago to begin her career, she is now back after how many years has it been? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 years since she's been in Chicago as a member of the Sky. And she's coming back. So the Sky signed her. They signed Shannon Semenko to a 4-year, $2.59 million deal. They signed Becky Poole to a 1-year, $124,000 deal. And they signed LaQuanda Barber to a 1-year, $124,000 deal. Yeah, and were they a bad team? They were not, so don't care about the draft. I will see you at the end of the 2046 WNBA season. Jenkins wins MVP at the end of the 2046 season. Kiara Stevens, Rookie of the Year. Robin Ruiz, Sixth Woman of the Year. Chelsea Jenkins, DPOY. Mercedes Bowen, MIP. Barbara Whitehead, Clutch Player of the Year. And Logan Schmidt wins Coach of the Year as the coach of the Lynx. And LeBron still makes all defensive first team. This year she averaged 8 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, and a block a night on 43% from the field, 39% from the three-point line, and 98% from the free throw line. And they do make the playoffs as the 3 seed, playing the Wings in the first round. Game 1 goes to Dallas. Game 2 goes to us. Game 3 goes to us. So we move on to the second round to play the Mystics. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to Washington. Game 3 goes to Washington. Game 4 goes to Washington, and we're eliminated. And that was LeBron's last year in the WNBA. I knew it would be. 22 years pro, retiring at age 39. Played for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different teams. career averages of 16 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, and a block. 50% from the field, 41% from 3, and 87% from the free throw line on average. And I'm assuming that gets her in the Hall of Fame, and it does. Number 23, 5 MVPs, 21 All-Stars, 14 DPOYs, 2-time champ, 2-time Finals MVP, 16 WNBA first teams, 2 All-WNBA second teams, 1 All-WNBA third team, 19 All-Defensive first teams, 1 All-Defensive second team, 1 All-Rookie first team. And she will get her jersey retired by the Chicago Sky, New York Liberty, and the Minnesota Lynx. Her 23 hangs on the rafters in Chicago, and then her 35 hangs on the rafters in New York and Minnesota. And that will be it for today's video. I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. This has been the Chosen One FN. Peace.